Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Just wanted to share some thoughts on last week's discussion on science and religion, and some thoughts as well on your journal article critiques. First, the discussion, it's really good to see a lot of you notice the tension between science and religion, but also that tension didn't exist in a vacuum. Some of that had to do with nations beginning to develop national identity, an identity of their own, distinct from simply their being part of the church that was dominant in Europe at the time, and how we still see many of those tensions in today's society. The discussions change, but the overall tension, disagreements are still there. Science versus religion. How do we explain and justify science? How do we be scientific and at the same time be religious? Not to say that we can't do that, but many people find the tension between the two to be obvious or dominant in our lives. At any rate, it was good to see you notice that, and particularly that these discussions in society, they don't exist, as I said, in a vacuum. They're oftentimes connected to something else, or they're a part of something much bigger. And in Europe at the time, of course, it really had to do with the growth of nations and national identity. Much of that had to do with language, geography as well. Second thing I wanted to talk about were journal article critiques. Let's see, today's Friday, a little after 3, so I've gotten pretty much everyone's from last week, and almost everyone from this week now. A couple things I wanted to share with you. One, really encourage you to try and follow as much as you can the outlines and the guidelines in the syllabus. Keep in mind, it's not a summary of something somebody else has written. Anybody can just read the article and get what they could from the summary. Really, this is a chance for you to exercise your critical thinking skills. So think in terms of what are the strengths of the article? What are its weaknesses or what are its limitations? How is it similar or different from related scholarship? Now, just to give you a hint, that last one, how is it similar or different related scholarship? A lot of that you can identify in their literature review. They will refer to other works, scholarly works, that are similar to this. And they may even hint themselves at some of the differences, but that's a good place for you to find out what those articles are and where to find them. Strengths, weaknesses, really think in terms of evaluating an article. We have that whole learning module on how to evaluate historical articles. If you haven't gone through that, really encourage you to, because it will provide you with all the structure and the tools you'll need to be able to do this. One of the also really important things, be sure to justify any comment you make, whether it's a strength or whether it's a weakness, with some kind of supporting relevant scholarly citation or argument. It's not that we don't care what you think. What you think is important, but what's just as important is that you can demonstrate that you can support your ideas with relevant scholarly literature, so that you're not just on your own, but that your ideas are connected and grounded in scholarship. And that's really important. That's going to be important whether you're in this program for a post-bac or whether you're here for the long haul, as I like to call it. Either way, it's going to be really essential, not just for this class, but for other classes and your career as well. So think in those terms. Where can you find other journal articles, other sources that can support what you're saying? APA format. If you don't have an APA handbook, and I encourage you to get one, because graduate school is writing intensive. If you don't have one, you can find some at the library reserve section. You can also find abbreviated examples online. There's a source called the Purdue OWL from Purdue University, the Purdue OWL. And it has really good examples of APA format for basic things we use, journal articles, books, chapters in edited books, etc. You can also go to the American Psychological Association website, and they will have examples. It won't be as detailed as the APA handbook is, but it will provide you with most, if not all, of what you need for journal articles and citations. Somebody asked me once, how many citations do we need? There really is no good answer to that. It depends. It varies. Really, I would think in terms of this way. Use this as an opportunity to show how well you can connect your ideas with the scholarship that's out there. In other words, more is better. Don't have to fill it with fluff, but really use this as an opportunity to demonstrate your command of the writing process and your ability to support your position with relevant scholarly literature. Style and stylistic writing. I've suggested to a couple of you maybe go visit the university's graduate writing center. I think that it's a graduate writing center. I can't remember if it's for everyone. But writing is a challenging process. It's not something that came naturally to me. I'm not Hemingway or Shakespeare. It's for me. Sometimes it's a very challenging process, and oftentimes it takes a lot of drafts before I'm comfortable showing it to someone else. That's not unusual. There are very few people who can write a paper, just put it down there, and it's just organized and stylistically flawless, elegant writing and all that jazz. 99% of us, we're not like that. I'm one of them too. So go through several drafts. Don't be afraid to go through several drafts. A couple things to keep in mind stylistically. Avoid single sentence paragraphs. A paragraph should have, at minimum, 3 sentences. 3. The first sentence should be a topic sentence. That drives the topic for the rest of the paragraph. Then it should have at least 2 supporting sentences that elaborate on that initial paragraph. So a paragraph has at least 3 sentences. One thing I suggest you do, develop an outline. And I know this sounds like something we did in elementary school. We still do it. I still do it. But develop an outline. We've got 3 major sections: strengths, weaknesses, comparison to other literature. Strengths. Identify the strengths. And let's try and push our thinking beyond it's well organized, it's clear. All scholarship should be well organized and clear. If it isn't, it shouldn't be published. Although, that happens. But let's try and push our thinking beyond well organized and clear. Weaknesses. State those, then elaborate on them. Okay, that's your body of your paper. Within comparison to other research, try and find a couple of themes that you can use. So you're not just comparing it to one article and then another paragraph comparing it to another article, but you're looking at the comparisons in terms of themes that may span across several articles. I will see if I can find a example I can put online. I thought I had one there, and I looked online and Not sure if it's still there or not. At any rate, it's something I can work on this week. But think in those terms. Really use this as an opportunity to show your command of the writing process, critical thinking, ability to connect your ideas with the larger research out there in the world. And let's see. I will be out of town most of next week. I'm leaving on Wednesday, and I get back on Sunday. However, I'll have access to my phone, email, internet, etc. So you'll be able to reach me as usual. If you do, we can do phone, email. Zoom meetings are great. Actually, that's my preferred if I can't come to campus. So at any rate, good luck, good discussions, by the way, and I will be in touch. Have a good week, everyone. I'll talk to you again soon.